So I think it's time for the next presentation of Euresys. Mark, are you still there?
Yeah. I'm still there.
Bye. Thanks, Alex.
Restart the camera. Okay, thank you, Peter. Let me share my screen. This one.
Yes, it's perfect.
Okay, perfect.
Yes.
Okay, let's start. So, good afternoon, everyone. If you are in Europe, good evening. If you are in Asia, thank you, Peter. So I'm Mark from the company Euresys. Today we talk about code reading applications. A word about our company, Euresys. First, we are a truly global company headquartered in Belgium with R&D in Belgium and Germany. We have a bit more than 70 employees now, and sales office in USA, in Singapore, in China, and in Japan. We are probably most known for our frame grabbers. We design and sell co-express, camera link, frame grabbers. We also design and sell IP cores, which are FPGA IP cores, implementing sensor interfaces and standard interfaces like USB 3, eVision, and co-express. We design and sell video servers called the Piccolo.NET series. And today we are going to talk about machine vision software and more particularly our OpenVISION image analysis software tools. So OpenVISION is a set of hardware independent libraries that provide image processing and image analysis services. So you can see that compared to the other presentation today that we have today, it's a bit different. We sell a component. We don't sell any complete solution or complete system at Euresys. We sell the software, specialized software for image analysis and processing. OpenVISION is compatible with any image source. So this includes cameras that are connected to frame grabbers, eVision cameras, USB 3 vision cameras, or scanners. There are 64 and 32-bit libraries, and they are compatible with PC development, compatible with Windows, and very soon, I think in a couple of months, we'll have a Linux version of Windows also. There are actually 17 libraries, 17 components in the OpenVISION tools. So I don't know if you can see my cursor. Here we have 3D image processing and image inspection libraries. We have deep learning libraries. We have more standard libraries that include color image processing, blob analysis, alignment, or subpixel measurement. And today we talk about what we call our identification libraries. It includes OCR, but today we will focus on the code reading libraries that include Easy Matrix code for reading data matrix code, Easy Barcode for reading barcodes, 1D barcodes, and Easy QR code, of course, for reading QR codes. So I think you have understood by now using image analysis libraries is more like a DIY approach, a do-it-yourself approach. So we do not sell a complete sensor, a complete reader, or a complete system, a complete application. We sell, in this case, the software components that our customers are going to link, to integrate into their application to carry out any type of inspection, measurement, and in this case, to read codes. So we'll talk about this question now. Why would you use image analysis libraries? Why you have complete sensors that solve the whole application, reading the code and maybe outputting the code read on a serial line? Why would you go through the process of designing and assembling the system by yourself? So the first reason is that our customers very often want to combine inspection, combine measurement with code reading, with part tracing, with part tracking. So at the same time, they want to inspect a product, a part, an object, and they want to identify it for tracing it. In other words, reading codes is just one of the things they want to do with the image. They want to carry out different kind of measurement, and reading codes is just one of the things. So we have a couple of examples here where we have a barcode printed on a PCB, or a QR code, data matrix code, sorry, printed on the PCB. Another case, another reason why you would use image analysis libraries is to use particular lighting, particular camera, or particular PC. Because it's a DIY approach, you have full freedom regarding the hardware equipment that you are going to use for the application. So we have seen in the presentation now that reading specific codes may require different kinds of lighting, and then with our approach, you can select the type of lighting that you want. You can also use very particular cameras. You can use super high resolution cameras, or very low cost camera. You could use infrared cameras. You can use even a line scan camera. If your application requires a line scan camera for inspection and you have a code to read in the image, this will work with our image analysis libraries. You can also select a super fast or a super low cost PC. It's really up to you. Another reason is with image analysis libraries, it's really easy to pre-process images. It's really easy to apply some pre-processing before reading the code in order to make the code reading easier, more reliable, or just possible. So I'm going to show you our image processing libraries now. And for that demonstration, I'm going to use OpenVISION Studio. OpenVISION Studio is not a library, it's an application. It's our evaluation, prototyping, and demonstrating application. With OpenVISION Studio, you can call all the functions of OpenVISION and see the result immediately on the screen. An important thing to remember is that OpenVISION Studio is free of charge. So you can download it from our website, and using any of the libraries from OpenVISION Studio is also free. You do not need any license. So everything that I'm going to show to you today, you can do it at home after this presentation without having to purchase anything from us. So let's switch to the demonstration. I'm going to go to the Start menu and launch OpenVISION Studio that I have just installed on my laptop. And I will just show you something really easy to start. I open an image. I want to read this code. And so I see that there are there are three codes in this image. Let me make it a bit smaller. And I create a code reader, and I apply it to this image, and you see that we are able to read the 1, 2, 3 codes that we have in this image. So it's really easy to use. OpenVISION Studio has been designed to be easy to use. We can see the code that has been read, the string that has been read here. I didn't know it, it's Japanese, and I checked this morning, it means serial number. So serial number L57X591242. This is the contents of the first code, the one in green here, and we can see the others there also. Something important also is that every time I do something in OpenVISION Studio, Studio generates the code, the C++ or the C# code. Here, this is C#. It generates the C# code that corresponds to what I am doing using the dialog boxes. And you can see how simple it is to read code. Actually, reading code is the most easy thing to do. You can do with OpenVISION. We have complex libraries that involve a lot of parameters, but reading code is super simple. Basically, each of these libraries has a single read function that you can call to read the code, and that's what we did here. So we have loaded the image, then we set a couple of parameters. One of them is the search field. So we tell the library, I want to look for a code in this image. And then we call the read function here using the QR code object. And the result is an object which is returned, and it contains all the results of the reading operation. So this is the resulting string, but actually we return a lot of other details about the code that has been read. You may not be interested in these details at all, so you maybe will just use the decoded string, but some specific application will be very happy to use the details here. One other important point is that every time I click read, I see the code generated, but the execution time of the function is also measured here. And it's interesting to know that the execution time is really measured on my PC, on my machine today. So two things I have to point out. The first one is that I'm using a very basic laptop for this presentation, so this PC is not powerful at all. Another one is that I see that the execution time is much slower than this morning. It's probably because I'm running Zoom at the same time and it takes a lot of CPU, but it does not matter. The important point is that on your machine, when you download Studio, you can actually measure the real execution time of the function, and it really depends on how powerful your PC is. For reading codes like this, we can definitely have execution time going down to 10 or 20 milliseconds. And we also have different parameters, and we can show one of them here, which is a detection trade-off, which will tell the library, do you want to execute the code reading in a reliable way? So meaning that being able to detect codes, to detect and reliably read the codes that are poorly printed or very small, or that are really damaged, or you just favor speed, and that's what I'm going to do here, and read again, and then you can see that it's already about 2 times faster if I ask the library to focus on the speed. It's really difficult to tell you what kind of code we can read. We have highly optimized the library to detect all the codes that our customers send us, and believe me, you have seen example in the presentation. Now we can read these codes, and then we have incredibly small, damaged, or really strange code that we are able to read. Also, I'm going to load and show you a few images just to show you examples. We have yes, I also have to create the object to read the code on this image. We can read codes that are printed on this type of file. We can read code that are dot pinned like this one on a mechanical part. We can read codes that are etched like this one on a PCB, codes that are simply printed on a label. Codes, this one is printed on medicine package, and we can see a few of them. These are quite heavily distorted, and so we have recently optimized this to be able to read codes that are not square or rectangle. This package is torn and distorted, and I will stop with this one where we have some errors that had to be corrected, and we can see them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 due to the reflection on the package. But no worries about this. Data matrix codes and QR codes have a lot of redundancy. They have a lot of error correction features. So we can read codes really reliably, and we can ensure that the codes that we return are correct because there is error correction and error detection in the data matrix standard. One additional thing that I would like to show you here is the the code grading function. And so we have heard about the code grading in the previous presentation. We also follow the ISO standards that I mentioned here. So these are the ISO standards for the QR code and the data matrix code, and in addition, the semi-T10 standard. I would like to emphasize the fact that we just provide the software part of the inspection. So we know that ISO code grading requires us very specific lighting and mechanical conditions. Of course, because we only sell the library and the code reading functions, then we cannot take care of this part. But we have optimized the code grading functionality to for that particular application. And actually, code grading and code reading are two different things in our algorithm. When we just want to read the code, then we try to detect the code, and as soon as we get a positive result, then we stop and we return the result to the user, because we want the reading part to be as fast as possible. However, when we have to grade the code, we will pay much more attention to properly detecting the position, the size of the code in the image. So many customers confuse reading and grading, and they tell us that if they can read properly, then this means that the code is printed properly, but this is absolutely not true, because as I said, there's a lot of redundancy in these codes, and it's not because we can read it that the code is printed properly. So the grading function is really valuable, and you see the grading results which are returned for this particular QR code here. If I still have a couple of minutes, yes, I think so. I'm going to show you an additional interesting, maybe a little bit funny example. This is a case a code that we had to read. It has been etched on a PCB. That's why you see the gold green contrast that we have in this image. And this code initially was not easy to read, because if you just acquire the image using a black and white camera here, then you have almost no contrast between the two parts of the code. And here, by combining different image processing functions, it becomes very easy to read. So I'm going to call Easy Color and do some color detection on this image. Let me create the destination image here. I will use a different color space. So I'm going to switch from the RGB to the LSH color space. In the LSH color space, instead of having RGB pixel, I have lightness, saturation, and hue. And what I can do is I can go and click in the image, and it selects a color. And I'm going to remove the filtering of the lightness and just filter my image based on the saturation and the hue. So this means that I select a particular color and just filter the image on this color. This is the result that we have here. And if I want to read this code, I just select this image, and we can see that we can read the code very, very easily. So here, by combining different image processing functions, and we have been able to transform a difficult to read code into a super easy to read code. And recently we had applications, a 3D application where the code was embossed, and using different algorithms, and can be, for example, photometric stereo, then we were able to read these codes very, very easily.
Mark, 2 minutes left.
Yes, I have reached the conclusion. Let me switch back to the presentation. And so these are the 3 libraries that we have demonstrated today. Easy Matrix Code, you see the summary. Sorry, wrong direction. Easy QR Code. You see the main features and the summary. We didn't talk about Easy Barcode, but Easy Barcode is also a library of ours, and it provides automatic code detection and reading as well. These are just 3 of the 17 libraries of Open eVision. These libraries have been available for almost 25 years now. So over these years, we have sold and installed more than 500,000 licenses worldwide. So you can imagine the number of systems and machines that are using Open eVision. These libraries are affordable, and they are available individually or in bundles. So if you have an application that just needs a QR code, you just buy QR code. We have a bundle with all the identification libraries as well, if this is what you need. Please go to our website. In the download area, go to support, download, and then you can download the OpenVISION Studio application, and you can do everything I have done now, even without purchasing Studio, purchasing any license. Using Studio is free. The sample images are in the OpenVISION installer. We also have tutorial videos to our YouTube channel, and we have a team of sales and support engineers who are ready to support you all over the world. So please check our contact details on our website. Thank you.
Thanks, Mark. And there are some questions. Is there a library for time-of-flight sensors in eVision or for TOF camera 3D reconstruction?
We have 3D libraries, so it depends on the kind of data that you are going to get from the camera, but the answer would be yes, because our easy 3D libraries can acquire images from 3D cameras, and then from these 3D cameras, they are going to construct either a height map or a Z map, and the Z map will be able to be processed by easy OCR to read character or easy QR code to read the QR codes.
Thanks. Are you developing the code reading algorithms by yourself?
Yes. All these libraries are developed by Euresys. So eVision, Open eVision, this is our product, and we have the software engineers working at our head office in Belgium and developing these libraries.
One person mentioned, I saw a managed portable license in the eVision license manager, but the eVision seller told me that is obligation the USB dongle. It is possible to buy the portable license?
No, we had many years back using a different licensing scheme. We had what we call the portable license, which was a software license that could be moved from one PC to another, but it was quite difficult to manage. So currently, we would favor a USB dongle, which is easy to move from one PC to another. However, this is a feature that may come back in the future. So if you have an application that would require porting a software license, please contact us. It is not available today, but this is an improvement that we envision for the future.
And how does OCR support different typefaces?
Yes. Our OCR library is actually learnable. So you have to teach it. You have to teach it the characters you want to recognize. You have to train it with real characters. And so it can read any type of font or face of character.
Okay, so as time is passing by, if you have any questions to Mark, there will be another Q&A section after the next, and which is the last presentation from Sensor Part.